Hi guys, Tim Knox here again to answer your question about Kindle, KDP Select, digital publishing. If you need advice about your love life, I can offer that too, but be warned, I really don't know anything about women at all. So anyway, it is the 18th of the month, 18th of January as I record this, and that means that just a couple of days ago, the monthly sales reports for your Kindle sales came out, and as always happens, whenever they release a sales report, it creates mass hysteria, mass confusion, a lot of anger in some cases, and elation in others. But more than anything, it typically causes confusion. People just don't know, number one, where to find the sales report, number two, how to get it to their computer, and number three, the biggest one, is how to decipher it. And it's really very simple, and I'm going to walk you through the process so you'll know exactly how much you sold the previous month and how many page views you got. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to put on my eyeballs, because without these bad boys I am basically blind as a bat, and we're going to go to my desktop so I can show you what's what here. So here you go. This is the KDP Select your account. Duh. You log into your account, you click on reports up at the top, and then you click on prior month's royalties, and when you do that, you're going to see a list of sales reports down here. Okay, so the last one would be December. Typically they are there by the 15th. This month there was some snag, so they had to redo everything, but typically by the 15th or 16th the sales reports are there, and you just click on the link to download it to your computer, and what you're going to get is an Excel file. And I've done some formatting on mine just to make it larger so you can see things here. When you open it up, it's going to be your standard Excel file. And these are the columns that you need to be concerned with. First is, of course, units sold is always a nice one. But this one, transaction type. There are basically three transaction types in the Kindle world, and they are your KENP, that is the number of pages read by people who have borrowed your book through the Kindle Unlimited or the lending library. Free promotion, those are books that you give away during your 5-day free period, and we talked about that on another video, not going to cover it here. And then there is standard, which means people bought your book outright. So those are the three categories. Only two pay royalties, KENP, and the standard sales. So that's your transaction type. Now here's the column that everyone should be interested in, and this is your royalty. Now royalties are broken down by the dozen or so country markets that Amazon has. So your first ones are going to be the US. These are sales or promotions within the US. And you can see here, wherever there is a KENP page, you're going to get paid by the pages read. Now every month, this is what really confuses people, is they don't understand what the going rate is. It's one of the downfalls of being an Amazon Kindle seller, is we don't know what the KENP page rate pay is until the following month. So in this case, it's about 0.0046 cents per page read, or $4.60 per 1,000 KENP pages. And the way you get that is quite simply, you take the royalty amount and divide it by the number sold, or KENP, and that will give you the average. And this month, again, less than half a cent by about 0.000004. So again, the rate there basically is $4.60 per 1,000. So as you scroll down here, you're going to see, if you see a 0, that's going to be your free promotion. Then you're going to see numbers here where you actually made sales. And of course, the better your month, the longer it's going to take you to scroll. I had a pretty good month in December. Did very well. So I'm going to scroll down until I get to this column, or this row, and you can see it tallies the USD US sales, and I'm not going to reveal my number here because I don't want you hitting me up for money. So you go down through the report, and there's going to be a total row like this for each country. For example, that was the US, you've got Great Britain, you've got Canada, you've got India, you've got Japan. But what you do is you go down through and you total up the numbers for each currency. All right, so I already know I'm in the US, so I want my money in US dollars. So what I'm going to have to do is go through each row, total them up. Okay, for example, this is the Great Britain store, and then I'm going to have to convert that to US dollars if that's what I'm being paid in. So It sounds more difficult than it is because I don't explain math stuff very well. But what you do, again, is you go to that royalty row, you tally up for each country, US, Canada, Australia, Japan. Then you take those numbers, convert them to US dollars, and you can do that online, currencyconverter.com. There's a bunch of those. And then that tallies up to tell you how much you have made. Okay? So it's not as difficult as you may think. Just to sum it up in steps, log into your KDP account, go to reports, click on prior month's royalties, download the last month or whatever month you want to see into Excel, and then you just tally those up. Now, if you're not familiar with Excel, we're not going to have an Excel lesson here, way over my head, but you can figure out how to tally those up. You can do it with a calculator if you don't want to do it in Excel, and then you can go do the currency conversion and find out how much you made. And I hope you had a really good month, as I did. But again, this is one of the numbers here that confuses everybody. How much is the KENP rate? Again, you simply get that by taking the royalty amount, dividing it by the number of units sold on KENP, and that'll give you your per page read. And again, we don't know what the per page read for, I mean, we're in January now, and we won't know what that number is until February 15th. Okay, so that's how you do it. The next question I get a lot is, when do I get paid? Where is the money? Typically, Amazon will deposit whatever royalties are owed to you in your account between usually the last week of the month, the 25th on. And keep in mind, there is a 60-day lag. So the money that I made in December will not show up in my bank account till February. What's coming into my bank account this month will be money from November. So keep that in mind. If you have any questions, email me, tim@timknox.com. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter. I am everywhere. I'm like drunken Santa Claus. I just stumble around till it's time for me to sit down and talk to the boys and girls. Okay, guys, Tim Knox signing out. I will see you next time.